Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to my first podcast of musical nonsense. We have our special guest, the David.
I would go so far as saying special, but I definitely try. My mom says I'm special.
Well, I was thinking about it. I was like, man, if Dave doesn't show up, I'm going to have to be talking with myself. And
Oh,
that
that's
ain't
boring.
Good. But just to those who don't know, David is the lead singer and guitar player for Undercover Monsters and also the bass player, backup singer for the Maxies. I was about to say the Undercover Monsters again.
Yeah. I mean, I that's one thing I've never done is play bass for Undercover Monsters. Like Emily has always only played bass, and I know that I would play way differently than her. Emily's definitely not what you call a musician, but she's been playing bass for a long time. I mean, she's not like, all right, let me throw down this scale. Like she plays to play a song. She's not playing to like, for the love of the game,
Ain't no Geddy
like,
Lee in there.
We were recording the other day. We're recording with Jared, who plays for Sailor Songbook and English Beat, Big B. And like, dude, she had her bass there, and she plays with fingers, which like, I remember when she was learning bass, she's like, I want to play with fingers. I'm like, all right, that's cool. It has become like a weird thing with songwriting, because I play bass with pick, which, I mean, to each their own, but like for the style of music I play, like a pick is normally where it's at. Like the one thing about playing with fingers is it's all downstrokes. Every note is a downstroke, which is kind of dope. Like, cause like, like especially playing like bass in the Maxies, like, dude, that's all Ramon score, so it's all downstrokes.
Yeah.
It's not about like how many notes I could hit. It's about how many downstrokes I can. And she does it with ease with her fingers, like, so at the studio, like I was like, she had to go to the bathroom. I'm like, pass me that bass, son. Like, let's see what I can do.
And it sounded
and
weird.
I really, oh, dude, it sounded so jacked up, because the other thing is I didn't have a pick. Oh, I cannot play with fingers for anything. I cannot. Yeah, like it's foreign to me. I don't know. I'm a big fan of people learning like unorthodox ways and doing way better than people who are like seasoned and trained. They've been working their whole life to get to a level of musicianship, and here's our dumbasses like just going and
la 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 la.
Yep. All right. Another sold out show. Like, yeah, dude, it's very weird. And not to say I'm a great musician. I feel very comfortable at bass, but I'm not a great bass player.
You get the job done, that's for sure.
Yeah. Like I feel way comfortable at bass than guitar for sure. When you're sitting by like all these bass players that are like good walking bass players, and they know their scales and everything, and I'm here playing like 14 different versions of Blitzkrieg Bop, and they're all like, "Yeah, you're so good."
You're like, I'm always that like, song in Q flat.
Well, the other thing, no, that song's in the number 1. This song's in the number 3. Like we don't even go that far. As for knowing like notes, I know how to tune my bass. Like if somebody throws like an E or like anything on the tuning, like the upper notes of the bass, I'll know what's up. But other than that, I'm screwed.
I know the first 5
frets.
Like
I learned what a fifth was like maybe a year ago.
What do you mean, David? You don't sing in fifths and thirds?
No, I sing in what feels great. What sounds and feels great. It's really, really, really discouraging for people who are really learning how to play instruments. Because I'm like, well, you'll never get to House of Blues that way, son. You'll never get a play at the Palladium or Observatory. No. You can't get there.
Just stay home, son. Just stay home. Well, you definitely get the job done. I mean, when we played in the Retcons, I couldn't complain.
Yeah. Like,
the style fit.
So one of my favorite things to do is playing big shows with the cheapest gear.
So everyone's like, wow, that sound is so amazing.
Oh yeah, dude, I have this Fender Squire that I'll always play any big show that with and like, you know, I see everybody bringing out like their Les Paul like golden tops that are worth like, you know, $4,000, and here I am with a guitar that's worth maybe $300, maybe, and and doing the job, doing the job.
Heck yeah, that's the best though, in my opinion.
I think it is. I think it's here's why I do that. Because like I was that broke ass kid that couldn't afford anything, and like it was really. I remember there was one band I had in high school, and we had a band meeting, and the band meeting.
That's
oh,
not
dude,
good. Band meetings are never good.
I remember this. This was at Del Taco, and they all sat around, and we're like, all right, in order to be a big band, we all need to get Marshall half stacks. We need to get a PA. We need to get better guitars, and they broke it down, and it was very like we're all gonna pitch in and buy everything together.
What?
And my part, yeah, oh dude, yeah, like it was like even though you're playing bass, you're gonna buy an expensive PA with your money too. So I remember my part was something like everybody's part in the band was something like $1,000.
Oh,
and
dear.
this was like 1994. So like, you know, I remember just immediately I'm like, I don't even got a job. And I remember at the time I was playing a Squire too. You know, like they're sought after basses now, but like, you know, everybody thought my Squire was garbage. They're all, that sucks, and only because it didn't have a Fender logo on it. That's it. Like I'll play that Squire too, like any day of the week, and still like sound awesome. But like I remember having that talk with everybody, and it really just discouraged me. Like I was just like, dude, music is so expensive, and like here we are trying to play somebody's backyard party. You know, where like maybe a drunk uncle will start a pit or something. You know, be the one man mosh pit.
It'll be all crazy.
But, yeah, with like, you know, people not really even caring to watch you or anything, and like us with like this expensive baller gear, and I've seen it happen in real life where I'm like, dude, this guy is rocking an iPad that's controlling his guitar pedals, and you know, I'm like, and it's just at like a bar for two people where I'm like,
you're like, this is ridiculous.
But on another note, if there's nobody playing, I'm still cool with it. Like I'm talking about playing big shows and stuff like that. I want to say the best shows I've ever played were to nobody, because like that, you know, I play music just for myself. Some people like, you know, they'll say that, and like they'll show up to the show, they're like, man, where's everybody at? I'm like, you're a liar. Like you are a liar. You do not play shows for just yourself, and that's okay. You know, like some people want to have a good show, some people want to have a packed house. That's cool.
Yeah,
you know, I
fun.
get that. But like, I don't know, I'm always the like, I play for myself. If people come along, that's cool. They get it, you know. They get why I'm having fun. But you don't have to come along. I'm not a big fan of like, all right, let's rip this pit open, brother. Like, I'm not a fan of moshing at all. I used to. Let me rephrase that. Like, I don't care if you mosh to my music or not. As long as you're having a good time, you could be disco dancing, you know, doing whatever you want. That's fine. Or you could just sit in the corner and like say, hey, that was cool. I'm not going to go nuts at a show. You know, why should I expect you to go nuts at a show?
That reminds me, I'll tell you a story about that. So we were when we were up at Utah State. There's this band called Cinnamon Brown and the Eskimos.
That's a dope name.
No, it's not. They were not cool. Anyway, so they played at this place called the Field House, and it was just a big giant gym. It was garbage. It just sounded doo-doo. It was terrible, blah, blah, blah. And so we would just, and of course we didn't really mosh, but we liked jumping around, and people didn't like it, so they'd always get mad. Just jump up and down, and they'd stop the song right in the middle. I'm like, man, you guys are stupid. Anyway, and so me and Steve, we kind of went over to the back. I don't know why this idea came to mind. But anyway, so he turned his back to the crowd, and I just, about 10 feet back, and I just took off running, and he put his hands out. So I just jumped in his hands, and he threw me over everybody. Let me tell you, they were not expecting a 200-pound man to come flying over everybody. I took half that crowd out.
It was like the worst version of Dirty Dancing that ever happened.
We had a good time about it, but I don't think anyone else did. But, man, we thought that was hilarious.
Dude, and I used to do mosh pit shit too. Like, I don't know, last show I went to that was kind of crazy was Turnstile. That show was like, I was not expecting to mosh the whole time. It was not an option, son. You
were doing it whether you wanted to or not.
Yeah, you were stuck in the pit. Like, you were not getting out. But good thing my years of training, I was fine.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think moshing's fun. Like, I'm not a big fan of the swinging and elbow moshing. Like, I definitely like bumping into each other, a little couple shoving here and there, but I'm not one of those big old swingers and kickers. Yeah,
that was this whole show.
Oh, really?
The whole show. Oh, yeah. I had one hand up by my face just in case.
Protection.
Yep.
I would say one of the worst ones I'd ever seen. I went and saw this band Earth Crisis. They're like one of those.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Straight edge vegan dog.
Like, I didn't. Someone just said, "Hey, we're gonna go check out this band Earth Crisis." I'm like, "All right, down in Salt Lake." I'm like, "All right, yeah, I'm cool. I'll back that." Man, that mosh pit was these humongous like skinhead straight edgers. I'm like, nope, I ain't getting in that crap.
Everybody just hating everybody, including themselves.
Yeah, I just could not believe it, man. Jeez.
Yeah, dude, I remember seeing Sick of It All and Slayer together. That was gnarly. That was like me being, I was probably 15, and like grown men with like two felonies under their belt trying to fight us.
And you're like, God, jeez,
man. But like, I don't know, with my bands, like people pit a lot to Maxies. It's mainly because like we're always playing with bands that have pits. But like when we play by ourselves, not so many mosh pits, but a lot of people dancing.
Yeah,
everybody having a good time. With the Monsters, it's really weird because like Maxies definitely like machismo bro stuff, but we're really jokey. But it's a bunch of dudes.
There's a definitely different vibe between your Maxi shows and Undercover shows, for sure.
100%. With Monsters, since we have Emily, like she does some of the singing, and we have Ashley, which when they're playing, dude, like everybody comes out to have a good vibe, and they're super supportive. It's very, very different. Like, like having people like, dude, you guys are so good, blah, blah, blah. When Maxies people are like middle finger to the face and trying to spit on. I don't know. Having females in the band, like it brings a different dynamic of people wanting to have fun. And we play aggressive music too, but like it's kind of cool to just go out and not have to worry about getting beat up. Because like with Maxies, like I don't know, when I just joined that band, like dude, there was a chance like somebody was going to try to fight us every time. But like I don't know, when you see somebody on a stage, you don't know how tall they are, and like I'm one of the shortest people in the band, and I'm 6 foot. Like everybody else is like 6'4". They're giant dudes that you do not want to like try to start a fight with. Because the other thing is a lot of Maxies at the time were like, oh, you want to try to fight me? I fought like way more people than like there are in a classroom. But yeah, like it would be the funniest thing to us. Like, so like when they would fight people, it would be like, oh, let me see if I can spin him around in a circle and like get him really dizzy and then try to pants him. like you're just like, what are you doing, dude?
Well, I do remember though when we played with you guys out in San Bernardino. I just remember you kept coming over. We got to keep an eye on Krusty. I think he's going to start something. Yep, I think he's going to start something. We got to keep an eye on him.
Oh, dude, that night, Krusty ended up knocking some dude out, and like everybody tried to calm Krusty down. But for those who don't know, Krusty, he was our guitar player. That he was in the band before I joined. Everybody thought it was awesome to have a guitar player that didn't really even play guitar. once again, like, dude, unorthodox things, but Krusty's played some big ass shows, and
Well, I remember one time he did a backflip, like in the middle of the
yeah,
song.
dude, yeah, and he would do stuff like that, and I'd be like, wow, that guy can still hold a tune and do a backflip. Come to find out, he's not playing. Krusty's like lived a hard life. Like, that guy's been in and out of jail. His teeth were rotten from heroin use, but he was like getting back on track, and he definitely is not somebody that like you want to get pissed off.
For sure. That dude was crazy.
It started with somebody stealing like a guitar player's beers while he was playing, and then he grabbed a beer from like our guitar player's wife went to go hand him a beer, and that guy grabbed that beer from his wife, and so our guitar player flipped out and socked him. And then the other guy punched him, and then like our singer had to calm him down because like he was going to swing a friggin' 25-pound Les Paul at this guy's head, and we're like, no, that's a death
that's
blow,
assault, brother.
yeah, that you could straight up kill somebody like that. And then in the parking lot, that's when Krusty was like, wait a second, you were trying to beat up my friend, and just socked him in the face, and his arms just went up, and that guy just started snoring, doing a like, I'm like, this guy's done. And then I remember our singer Matt was like, Krusty, calm down. And our singer had a hula hoop for some reason.
What?
And like yeah. Oh, so Krusty's like, no, shut up. I'm gonna fight you for telling me what to do. So Krusty went to go every time jump at him, and he would bounce the hula hoop at him. Boop. And Krusty would, no, stop it, man. Every time just bouncing the hula hoop like at him. And you know, after you get hit with the hula hoop so many times, you're like, all right, man.
My masculinity is gone.
Yeah, I've been hit by the hula hoop too many times today. But
that's hilarious.
Band stuff is always weird when it comes to violence.
Well,
Actually,
I'd say I don't think I've ever. Well, okay, I've come close, but not violence very often. I think just the Mac.
Yeah, like, dude, there was this one time we were playing at a local hooligan area called Character. Our keyboard player was kind of like taunting this one girl that was like flipping him off, and was just like, hey, well, fuck you, you suck, blah blah blah. Like, and this girl was just getting pissed. At the same time, there was another girl that was pissed at us, and she was throwing punches, but like, I was on a stage is a very loose term to use for this place.
You were a raised area?
Dude, it was a raised area, and it had boxes. Like, boxes made the stage, so the more you play, the more the boxes separate. So by the end, you have your own box, you know? And so like, this girl would come around the pit and just try to punch me. And like, at first she was like try to punch my knees, and I was like, well, I've got a base in front of my junk, so I'm fine, you know.
Yeah, why are you trying to punch knees though? That's weird.
But then she got all freaking Street Fighter and like tried to do dragon punches and stuff. I think it's funny because, like, you know, she almost connects a couple of punches, but they're just like, it feels like somebody just like tapping you in the chest, and I just laughing. But Monster's guitar player Ashley was there. She does IT for banks. So she got off work, came over, and she all dressed all like friggin' very business casual. Saw her do that, grabbed her by the neck, threw her on the floor, socked her like a bunch of times, picked that girl up and threw her back in the pit. So Ashley didn't get in trouble. Needless to say, that girl was done.
You got your butt kicked by a banker.
Oh, dude, and it was the best because like it was a gutter mouth show, so everybody was like all punked out and everything, and nobody even suspected. Like, security came in, they didn't even like. She was like, "What are you gonna do?"
So how did you get? So when you originally started, why'd you choose bass? Like, what was the reason for bass?
Oh, very, very simple. Like, growing up, my dad always wanted me to play bass. He was into like Tejano, Norteñas, and like praise music. Like, that was the stuff he always like kind of pushed, and he'd always push like Pink Floyd. I don't know why old Mexican men love Pink Floyd. I don't get it.
Anyone likes Pink Floyd. I cannot handle those guys.
I'm in a job where everybody like, oh, you play rock and roll, you love Pink Floyd, huh? I'm like, and you got to kind of be cool. Like, all right, that's nice. Yeah, like, they're cool, I guess. But he'd always teach me stuff like that. A lot of stuff that I never really liked. I just didn't. I'm like I remember when like the first real song I learned was Misfits, Where Eagles Dare. And it's cool.
Was your dad let down? Mijo, no.
No, my dad wouldn't let me listen to music like that. He was like, it was either that or Christian contemporary. He had like this thing where like you could only listen to music that's like think of music like a meter. In the middle is like let's go surfing now, everybody's learning how, and then like praise music's on one side where like it's for God, and then you got Slayer on the other end. Like you got bands like Slayer on the other end that like is not the way you should be playing music.
Here's the good and here's the bad. Find the middle.
Yeah, like he was not into secular music at all. Like, but he grew up on oldies and he loved Pink Floyd, which I didn't get. So I always had like a bass at the house. My dad's instrument was a guitar, but like I always had a bass and had this giant bass rig that like my dad would always brag like I played the troubadour with this mijo. All of a sudden, like I hate playing music for years and everything, and my friends started a band called the Arsonists. Yeah, we
That's a good
13
name.
years old. Oh yeah, the Arsonists. Like a name that won't get you arrested, right? so like all of a sudden, like everybody's like, yeah, I play guitar, and like this guy's all, I have Sabian cymbals, like like it's one of the best. I didn't even know what a Sabian cymbal was. I thought it was like a friggin' like a Street Fighter move or something, but he had them all, and he's like, yeah, I got one that says Crash, one that says Burn. The only thing we're missing is a bass player, and all of a sudden I'm like, I play bass. And their band was like a metal band. If you want to talk about a band that played the same song over and over, they played one over and over, all Metallica heads, and they love dancing, which like, some of that stuff I like, but I definitely realized I was like, being a bass player means you could kind of, you have like pick of the litter. Nobody in school plays bass. Everybody plays guitar. And not only that, but like I preferred to sing. Like what best way to like sing in a band is by playing bass, because like everybody needs a bass player. Everybody always wants a backup singer. I could do harmonies. I'm like, all right, let me move this around. So little by little, I was like, okay, I could play bass in like this band. I could play bass in that band. And like for a little bit, like people wanted me just to be a singer. I'm really uncomfortable just being a singer because I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know when to walk around. We played a show in San Francisco where Monster's old guitar player Ty, he played guitar. I was like, dude, I cannot go to San Francisco and not let my friend play this awesome show. It's at a big venue, but then I'm like, but that means I just got to sing. So, dude, one of the things I'll do, I'll watch videos on like the extras on Willy Wonka and it's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Johnny Depp one.
Wait, what do you mean the extras?
So they have an extra on the DVD that shows like just over and over dancing like an Oompa Loompa. So I learned those moves. I'm like, throw in an Oompa Loompa move here, throw in an Oompa Loompa move there. like in my head, I have to tell myself, don't forget you got to move. Because otherwise I'll just be stuck to the microphone and the mic stand.
Just standing there in the same spot.
Oh yeah, dude. It's weird because like you put a bass or a guitar in front of me, I'm fine. The moment you take that away, I'm like, hello, thank you guys for coming out to my show. I just don't know what to do, dude. It's bizarre. And I've talked to people who made the transition from instrument holder to singer, and they're like, yeah, it took a long time to get to what I'm doing now, and I still feel like a faker.
You need to watch yourself some Fred Durst Kid Rock videos.
That's right.
Or some Creed.
But yeah.
Listen to some Creed.
Oh, with all what But yeah, playing bass is like it's a step above drummers. There are people that can pick whatever band they want to be in. Like you play drums, the world's open. You know that. Like,
oh yeah.
How many people want you to drum for the band and not like guitar?
Yeah, all of them.
And you're awesome at all of it, So like that's a hard thing when it comes down to if there's somebody looking for they're always looking for a drummer almost all the time.
Yep.
Bass player, kind of always looking for a bass player. So like I was just like, okay, I have no rhythm.
Drums are out.
Yeah, and not only that, but bass is cheap compared to like all the other instruments. Bass is so cheap. You don't need to get a whole bunch of pedals. You don't need an expensive bass. Like, I mean, you can. If you're starting to play bass, I'm guessing you could spend about like hell. Well, these days you can spend like $600 and you'll be set for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Like you'll be set. Guitar, not so much. Every guitar is like ranging in prices and normally over $1,000. And drums, geez, why did you choose drums?
Because I couldn't play saxophone. I mean, really.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah. Well, so
Ouch.
because I had a friend in elementary school, he's like, dude, play the saxophone. It's awesome. I'm like, all right, whatever. So when I went to band, they're like, okay, let's everyone pick what you want to play. And of course, my last name's Rafson, so I'm at the end. So by the time he got to me, I'm like, I want to play the saxophone. He goes, we have too many saxophones, so you play the clarinet. I'm like, this is stupid.
I mean, it's the same key, but not cool.
Not even close to cool. So then I'm like, well, then he gave me a xylophone, so I played the xylophone. And I'm like, this is stupid. So I didn't do it in the 7th. So I was in the 6th grade. In the 7th grade, I'm like, dude, I'm not doing this. So then when I was in the 8th grade, a friend Sam's like, look, I talked to music teacher, Miss Morris. She said you could play the saxophone. I'm like, all right. So I signed up for beginning band, and I got in there, and there was a bunch of people playing sax. They wanted to play sax. I'm like, I want drums, and that's where it started.
Dude, and see, dude, like, I don't know. My musical experience is like my scholastic musical experience is way different than like a lot of people. A lot of people do come up through band, the marching band, through like whatever like school band that they have. I came up through choir, like that's my scholastic experience. But yeah, dude, like I still am a firm believer in like you have to have some sort of schooling to kind of back you as a kid. It's helpful.
Well, I definitely think there's a something enjoyable at just having a creative side and letting
100.
So you can think out of the box on stuff. You're not just reading books and taking tests. It's creative.
Yeah, like dude, the class that got me the most, where I've been today, has been choir. And like if I didn't have choir, I never would have been playing Japan. I wouldn't be like doing any sort of musical playing outside of Riverside. Like that. It's always come to choir, dude. Like I saw my choir teacher at Coles. This was maybe like a year ago, after not seeing her for probably about 15 years. It was so weird because like she kind of didn't recognize me.
You're like, I changed, don't worry.
I think it's just being a teacher. You see so many people and like affect so many people's lives, and like hear the whole like, if it weren't for you, that story.
Yeah. And
like I'm like, hey, Miss Mackey, and she just like looked at me. I'm like, hey, it's David Alarcon, class of '97. And because like in school, she was my favorite teacher. We used to always talk and stuff like that. Didn't really recognize me too much this time. I'm like, and I saw it. Like I didn't want to beat that dead horse. And I was like, just want you to know that like you made a difference in my life, and I just want to thank you that like I wouldn't be playing music if it weren't for you.
Yeah.
And stuff like that's kind of cool. Like for kids, like they gotta. Like what a lot of drummers I know went to marching band. That's a big thing for a lot of drummers I know. Like I even talked to another drummer that I know, Josh Hatfield, who plays for a whole bunch of different bands, and like he does Disney stuff. He's all, I learned most of my chops marching band. I'm like, damn.
That's a big thing nowadays. Like I remember when I was growing up, a lot of people marching band those were for the weirdos. I mean, they were good drummers, but marching bands for weirdos. Real rockers didn't do that. But now, ever since Travis Barker, like now that's like the coolest thing in the world. I mean, there might have been others, but yeah, he really started the marching band's cool. Because I know like Chad Sexton from 311, he was a big marching band. That's where he got his stuff.
Yeah, all those guys make drumline look cool, like where they do tricks, but like they also show that fundamentals and stuff like that. Like I learned bass from the street, son. like yeah, like when it comes down to it, I learned everything by ear for bass. Not my vocals. Vocals are all choir, dude.
Yeah.
But like bass, I remember like I'm like, I think it sounds like this. Yes, I got this. And then like we would go to guitar. Well, we wouldn't go guitar or anything. we would go to Stater Brothers and like look at guitar magazines and try to memorize stuff and like write stuff down like on little pieces of paper, like just straight up like writing tablature. Sometimes we would just straight up like steal the sheet from that we wanted. And like I was thinking about that the other day, like somebody like trying to learn a Rancid song and they're like, oh man, the page is gone.
They bought the book just to learn it and the whole page is gone.
Yeah, the whole page is in my notebook. Yeah, and I also used to be a believer of like if I bought something like a music book, I should know it. So like I remember buying like Bob Marley's Legend and not opening it at all and not learning a single thing, but I'm like, I now have this knowledge just because I bought it.
Well, yeah, but that's the issue that I have with a lot of those books. Like I've got some Red Hot Chili Peppers albums and Primus albums, and I don't know. I don't think I paid $15-$20 for each book. Half those tabs aren't even right either. So you might as well just get them for free online now. Like I mean, they're pretty close. I'd have to handle it, but sometimes you're like, no, he does not play that. No, that is not right. So.
But I don't know. We're also showing our age talking about buying books too. Like that's the other thing where like I don't know. I remember when tablature, like everybody's like, oh, tablature online is where it's at. I'm all, I know tabs. Like I can learn tabs, and then all of a sudden, like you don't have to study by ear. Where I'm like, oh, they're just there. A lot of younger musicians I know aren't very good at ear because of that.
Oh yeah, I can see that for sure. Because all you're doing is looking at something to say, okay, hit fret number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's super bizarre, but like everything I've learned, and I still won't use tablature for the most part anymore, just because I don't know, it's fun to me to try to learn stuff by ear. We'll try to like, all right, my experience tells me to go here, but yeah, like I don't know, with guitar, like. Oh man, my guitar secret, well, it's not even a secret, I tell everybody, is that I don't know open chords at all. Like like
if it ain't a power chord, it don't exist.
I love when people like are like, "Hey, can you play with our band?" And like, we're going on a tour, you should fill in. And I'm like, I'm not the guitar player you think I am. And I'm like, so what do you mean by that? I'm like, I am not a good guitar player. And they're like, no, you're great, dude. And like with guitar, I play to my strengths. Like the songs I write, play all to my strengths. I'm like, oh, it's all power chords. The solos I do, I don't improv them. I like have a little melody stuck in my head, and I'll keep on trying to play that for like a month. And then I'm like, all right, I got my little melody out of my head. Now it's on my fingers. Okay. Nice. Memorize that over and over, because I hope to God nobody takes that memorization away from me. And yeah, I've had mistakes on stage because lighting and stuff like that. Oh, you throw a blue light on me, I cannot see anything, including my fretboard. And dude, it'll be like, really? Dude, I will sound like Marty McFly disappearing. Like, yeah. Not playing guitar right in Marvin Berry's band. Like, I will sound that bad. And yeah, like, and then I'll even try to like, well, maybe I'll just put feedback and weird stuff. No, it just makes me sound like I really don't know how to play guitar. And like, but yeah, I've had bands ask me to go on tour with them and stuff like that, and I'll be like, well, let me try their stuff. And yeah, it just does not work at all. Like I immediately, I'm like, no, we can't even humor that. I can't even play a song with you. Like, let's be real, guys. Let's be real.
Let's just stop this right now.
Yeah, but put a whole bunch of overdrive on my amp and like play a power chord. I'm fine.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
I'm fine. Oh, I love it. I love it. Absolutely. I tell everybody, like, if you want to do a band, you can easily do one. It's all right there. Like, like same. That's how Emily learned bass. Like, she was 30 years old when she started learning how to play bass. So, I always tell everybody, you're never too old. And like I seriously started playing guitar at that same age too. Like, I would always know how to play like power chords, and I still only know how to play power chords. Yeah.
The progress is amazing.
I plateaued as a guitar player when I was 16. But yeah, good times, good times. But I don't know. That's when you go musicianship versus songwriting. I would say I'm more of a songwriter than a musician. I just learned you just have to know that everything you do isn't as cheesy as you think, and it's okay. You can make a ton of songs, and you could cut some songs out. You don't have to have every song you write be in the forefront of your band.
No, did I ever tell you that? So we had this one band. Oh man, this dude, he was a fruitcake. That dude pissed me off all the time. So like at this point, I didn't even have a car. So I was having to bum a car to even get my drums to a show. So this fool, he lived at home, and he, I'd never been to the dude's house. But we had this show. So I asked my brother, hey, can I borrow your car to get my drums up there? And then so this dude called me. He's like, hey man, can I get a ride? I'm like, yeah, dude. I'll hook you up. Drive out to this dude's house. There's like 5 cars in the driveway. I'm like, you son of a... He said, yeah, I'm coming to pick you up, to borrow a car, pick you up, and your lazy ass can't even go drive one of your own cars. See, that dude...
And he's just trying...
Yeah. We used to argue all the time about... he had a song with a trill in it. And he could not... And he's like, well, the trill can be whatever speed I want. We're like, no. Because if it comes in at, let's just say 100 beats per minute, and our song's at 130, it's just going to sound weird. Anyway, he was just an odd duck. But anyway, so we were talking, we're like, look, all we got to do is just focus on a few songs, maybe 3 or 4 songs on an album, work on those. The other ones will just kind of be filler songs. And he's like, no, dude, every song I write's going to be amazing. I'm like,
whoa,
no. Yeah, dude, we had that big old argument. No, dude, we're not doing all these $1 million songs. First of all, we weren't even that great. Anyway.
So I don't know. Over the years, I learned that like I do like songwriting a lot, and not all the time I write songs for my bands. Like I'm like, well, this song would be cool, but like it's definitely I can't sing it. I definitely like my band will not play it good. So I've always like I don't know if it's like certain people I know that they're just like, dude, I wish I had a song by you. Like I'm like, dude, well, I kind of wrote something that would fit your band. Like right now, the most recent is Odd Robot song that I wrote. Like I'm not sure if too many people know who Odd Robot is. It's like some of the guys from Longfellow, one of the guys from Skeletones and Knockout, old guy from New Way On, and another guitar player from a little band called Papa Roach and the Ataris.
And them dudes have not gotten back to me, by the way.
Oh, the robots?
Yep.
Oh, I'll do some sending. Don't worry. But
talk to them fools.
Yeah, the thing is, like, they asked if I could write them a song, and I'm like, oh, I wrote you a song. Here you go, bam, and like,
done, son.
And you always have a way how a song sounds in your head, but like, I don't know. I remember, especially with Undercover Monsters, when you played with us, you're all, I got some ideas. And I'm like, well, you can show us the ideas, but it's like an obstacle course, like a car obstacle course. If you have like a Mercedes, it's going to go on the obstacle course and do everything kind of cool looking. But if you have a beat Honda Civic, it can still do some stuff like jumps and maybe end up on fire, and it can still be cool, but it's not going to be what you want. and like with Odd Robot, they had the Mercedes. so like, I mean, it was not what I. No. I mean, it turned out the way how I kind of wanted it, but it turned out way better than I was expecting. So like,
did you like tweak it, or was it just how it came out from your mind to the actual song?
Well, I sent them a demo. They played it way better than I could play it.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, like, and not only that, but like after Andy like touches it and stuff like that, he'll start like, I'm like, oh dude, I should do a harmony here, You know what? Let's add some rough vocals here. You know what's missing? A bass part with a feel right here. Stuff like that starts to play off of each other. But once again, this is a band I'm not playing with.
Yeah.
There was another band, Unicorn Injection. I wrote them a song because like they were trying to play shows, but they didn't have enough songs. I'm like, dude, I'll throw you guys a song. I got you something. That ended up be like a song that everybody liked a lot from them, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But like they write good songs, so like don't make mine. Don't say that one's the hit. I think when you introduce a song to somebody's band, it doesn't matter like how good it is. Everybody just likes it because it's different, and it's not like
something new.
Yeah, well, I mean, not only that, but it's like it's not just new, but it's something that somebody else did for you, and so they have a little more like, oh, dude, we can't mess it up because this is David's song, like David's coming to the show, we got to do it good, So they treat it with a little more different gloves rather than like, oh, time to play the song all sloppy, But in actuality, like I just if I ever write somebody's song, I just want them to play it. I think it's kind of cool, I'm like, oh, dude, like that's awesome. You're playing a song that wasn't gonna go anywhere with me, but it sounds awesome with you, and now like you're having a lot of fun with it. That's cool,
Nice.
Like I like stuff like that. But like Talina from Bite Me Bambi hit me up, and we had a songwriting session, and like I don't know, that was one session that went nowhere.
Like they just wasn't creative or what?
For some reason, like I don't know, I just couldn't come up with anything at that time. I'm not a jammer.
You ain't got no soul, David.
I got to think of it. I got to plan it. I'm strategic. Yeah, it just ended up me and Talina ended up just like giving up and just like chit chatting and having a good time anyway.
Yeah, no wrong with
But
that.
like, oh yeah, definitely nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's one of the main reasons I play music too. Like it's not about I don't know. To me, it's not about like having all the check marks of playing the cool places or having all these fans, making a bunch of money on merch. Like I've had all that. I've played shows where we all were like, holy crap, we're walking away with good money. I've also had the like, holy crap, this show cost us like $500. Yeah.
They took our good money.
Yeah, to me, it's about like whatever one of those is like sharing the experience with somebody that's sharing that with you. Like if you meet like cool bands that are like friends and stuff like that, that's always the best. And I've always just met people that I like. Well, no, I mean I've also met other people that I really don't like. so there is the other end too. But like for the most part, like I don't know, the bands that I play with and cross paths, I like them. Like not only like them, but like I want to be around them, and I'm like, oh, this is fun.
See, I agree with that. Like when I look back to all the bands I've ever played, I think there's only a few people that I'm like, dude, you're a douchebag. I don't want anything to do with you. But all the rest of it, I mean, they've all been cool, mellow people. I mean, that's how I met Husker Du.
the infamous Husker Du, mustache and all.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, there's something that's a lot more fun when you're all homies rather than this is a job. Let's play for shows. Then
because there is also the element of like I'm playing with some weirdo band, and why are they doing this? This is somebody should have told them not to, but they're continuing going. And this is kind of awesome. Like
this is a train wreck I cannot look away from.
Yes, I want to be the conductor on this mess. Like like there's been a few bands like that where I'm like, oh my god. And even then, like afterwards, like after talking all the shit and everything, I start to think about it. I'm like, you know what? They probably had a way better time than I did. And in my face, like when I'll get on that like existential. I'm like, you know what? They had the better show than my band that nailed like all the songs right and the crowd was going nuts. No, they had a better show than me. Like, they actually won. But yeah, music's all about fun.
Well, I agree. I want to think back to those were the shows that were always the funnest. Not the ones where you're all concerned, oh, we got to be all uptight and we got to do everything right. It's like, dude, who cares, man? Just go out there and have fun. Like I remember a couple times, like Joel and I, we showed up to a party out in the desert, and I don't remember what the band's called that was playing. And Joel and I were like, "Hey, dude, can we play?" So just him and I just played these dudes' drums and guitars and just played some songs out in the middle of a desert. And where you're just screwing around, you're having fun. Those are the more fun shows.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like that stuff's always kind of cool, man. Like it's all about just keeping a smile, man.
Yep. Dave, we're coming up on almost an hour now. So much for 20 minutes.
Takes a lot longer than usual.
But I will say, though, back to one of the points you made, I've written a lot of songs. Like when I come into my song catalog, I've got about 400 songs.
Damn.
And I will say that the Retcons are the only ones that has ever played any of my songs. And that is this one.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's the only song that I've ever written that anyone's like, yeah, let's play that song. So I appreciate it.
That sounds fun. Like, yeah, like I mean, Monsters ended up playing it for a little bit too.
Nice.
But yeah, like it's a fun song.
Those are the memories. So are you guys even playing shows right now, or you probably got that one coming up on the 2nd or something?
Yeah. Well, we got one coming up on the 10th as well. That's going to be in East LA. We're opening up Kinky Control. It's our screen printer, Kevin, who used to be in a band called One Eye Open, and Scapesh Mode. Like he's having a grand opening. Well, it's not a grand opening, but it's kind of a grand opening for his store. That'll be fun. But yeah, we're still moving, man. Like we're in the middle of recording.
Where are you guys?
There's a lot of moving parts. We're recording with Jared at his home studio. He doesn't have a name for it. I like DIY shit. yeah, and that's how I look at it. I'm all, oh, you have like an expensive rig here, and you said you want to record us? That's dope.
Hey, sometimes that cheap stuff. I remember in high school we had what was called the magical snare, and it was just like an old piece of junk, garbage drum set that I didn't have a snare drum at the time, so we took one of the toms, and I took it home, drilled some holes into the rims, and put a snare on it, and that was the most awesome snare in the world.
oh, Jerry got nothing but fancy stuff though.
Oh, yeah.
Like he built a studio in his garage. Like it's soundproofed and everything, and all his microphones I can't even touch.
Oh, that feels like pinkies out right there.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Like he has like 2 computers to run his thing. I don't even know that stuff.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, that dude's serious.
Yeah, good times. Yeah, no, yeah, Jared ain't messing around.
All righty, well, thanks, David. We'll do this again sometime. We'll party it up, discuss stupid stuff. Maybe next time we'll play some tunes.
Might be.
But we will see. Hey, we played part of a Retcon song.
Yeah, there you go.
I would have to say the Retcons are probably one of my most favorite bands I ever played in. I will say that.
We did things.
They were fun.
We did things.
And I still always remember that Todd introduced me to your worst band ever, the Two Skinny Jays.
Oh, bad times.
I still listen to them fools.
I don't want to be reminded of them. Well, good times. Good times.
All right. Well, thanks for coming, Dave, and have a good evening.
All right. Later.
Later.